Welcome to another video. Today's video I'm going to be working on the 67 Mustang. What I'm going to be doing is I'm getting ready to work on the interior. I'm going to be building a speaker box here for some good dumps. So I'm going to show you guys what the process is. I already cut out a cardboard kind of piece to get started. So stay tuned.
Music bed.
So the main thing here is, you don't want to go and start cutting the wood right away. I have that sheet over there because if something is not right, then really, nowadays it's an arm and a leg to buy a piece of wood like that. So I have a big box over there. I cut it up. And so this is kind of what the bottom piece is going to look like. I'm pretty comfortable with the way it's going to be on this size. I cut this piece out here in the middle because the trunk has a hump there, and that way it sits lower on the trunk. So what I'll do on the actual wood is I'll just cut the piece out and then cut a piece that's a little bit bigger and just nail it on top of the wood, and that's going to give it about a 1/2 inch drop there, or I can even kind of do two pieces and just to cover it. But that way the whole piece goes down lower than what it would have, because then it would have been about 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch higher. So that's what I'm gonna start with. What I'm gonna do now is just measure here the height, figure out the back piece and all that, and then I'll start cutting the wood and piecing it together. So that's the first step here. So let me make sure that's good. I'll cut the wood and then I'll show you guys what I'll do next. Okay, so I went ahead and cut a couple more pieces of cardboard template here. So, main thing is I want to use cardboard to do my templates. Just that way, if I need to change anything, I know what's going to need to be changed, but I'm not cutting any of the wood. So like here, for example, you can see that on this side it's pretty tight with the bar here. So instead of cutting the piece of wood and something is too short or whatever, I can see, okay, I can work around that a little bit, or redesign the whole thing. So I have to remember that the hinge is going to go down there too. So quite honestly, I might just end up shortening the bottom of the box, so that way maybe it's like right there, a little bit longer, but that way it clears the hinge there. So here's the main reason why you want to make sure that you use cardboard, and then you can always make changes later on. So with this all set in here, what I can do is I'm gonna measure out because I wanted to fit two 12-inch subs in here, and from what I've been measuring, the distance from here to the bottom, it's about 11, I think. And I don't know if that's enough for the whole of the sub. But what I can do is I can make the face kind of come way out here. And then make just like maybe the front, or make like the inside of the box go down and then go straight back. But just the front is a little bit bigger, and that'll give me the room. Because, the speakers, the size is the front. I think the hole that goes in is a little bit smaller, and then they go smaller as a cone. So all those things kind of can work on my favor here. So I kind of also wanted to make this on an angle, and so doing that would make me, you know, now I know with this template, maybe I can cut another one out that's longer and just cut it kind of an angle here and then just kind of go underneath. So let me figure that out and then I'll show you what I decided to do. This is what I came up with. So it's a weird shape, but as you can see, it's flush on the front. I cut it a little bit at an angle so it goes flush against the back. And so this is going to be, this is also in an angle, so it's right at the edge here on the top. I might cut it a little bit shorter once I cut the wood, just because I don't want it so tight, but this is the max that I can go pretty much on the wood, the length of this piece of cardboard. But that's going to clear those rods there, and you can see it's going to clear the hinge. I marked the bottom because the piece of wood, I mean, I'm just going to cut it to that length. Now, when I do the front piece, I might, you know, I'm going to cut this bottom piece, this one, probably the back. Here's now next. The front, I'll do a cardboard piece. What I want to do with that is I'll probably want it to go all the way, kind of, as you know, go all the way to here. But then, where it, you know, I want it to go as far as, I guess it's going to go that I can put it in the trunk. So it kind of covers here, and that way when I put the piece of wood here, maybe I have a piece to attach the this side piece here on the back. And then same here on the front. I'm not sure if the trunk kind of curves up a little bit, but I'm gonna wanna keep the contour on the front anyways. You know, the box is gonna go on the back, but so now that I have that side, it should be the same to get it on this side here. You can see, so I'm gonna use that same template. I'm gonna cut these pieces out and nail them together. I can do the back, and then I'll wait on the top just to make sure, but pretty much everything looks like it's gonna go that size. I do have a 12-inch sub over here that I'm gonna take out of the box and just take the measurements for the hole and see if this will allow me to put the 12-inch subs. If anything, I'll just buy 10-inch subs. I mean, no big deal. But anyways, that's kind of the basic idea to get started here. I'm gonna get my piece of wood over there, put it on the floor. I have some, you know, I don't know what you call those, donkeys or whatever. And that way I'm gonna start tracing these and cut them out. I went ahead and cut the bottom piece of wood, like you guys saw earlier. So there's this. I have my two end pieces here. And so one thing to remember is I did cut my piece on the back. Now this is gonna go on top of this because I didn't want it to be any longer. So when you do that, just kind of keep in mind, before I cut these side pieces, I went ahead and just cut these a little bit shorter, and that way, you know, it's compensates for that piece on the back. Now, the other thing I could have done is cut the back piece shorter, which is what I did with the piece that goes here on top. I can't put it on top of here because if you guys remember, this was my limit of height. So if I would have just, you know, nailed it here on top, then that would have made it 1/2 inch taller. So I went ahead and had to lengthwise cut it, you know, 2 pieces shorter, so 1 inch shorter, so that way it goes on the inside. And then lengthwise here, since it's gonna go same as here, I just measure from the end to here. So just keep in mind, sometimes when you start building it, you're just, you know, okay, you got it all like this, and then you're like, I need my top piece, so you just measure from the top, you know, nail it here on top, but then that's gonna make it taller. So keep that in mind. If you have room, that's no big deal, but if you're limited in room, that's gonna make it 1/2 inch taller, wider, whatever it is, and sometimes that makes it where it's not gonna fit properly. So what I'm gonna do here is get my compressed air and blow the sawdust out of here. I did get some liquid nails, so I like using this stuff here. That's what I'm gonna use on all the edges. Just helps it glue together. Also makes the airtight seal, which makes the box sound better. And then I'm gonna use 1-inch nails. Yeah, 1-inch nails with my nail gun, you know, to nail it together. So I'm gonna start kind of nailing it together now. And then right before I do that top piece, I need to cut the piece of wood for the bottom plate there, so that way I can cover that. Because remember, there was that hump in there, and so that's just gonna make it so that I have room, or so that the whole box sits a little bit better rather than. Okay, so it's taking shape a little bit better. As you saw in the time-lapse video, so I cut another piece of wood for that. And then I cut the center out because I did notice earlier when I put the piece of wood, when I put a piece right on top there, on a piece on the middle, on the hump, it's a little bit higher than the 1/2 inch. So I just pretty much did almost like 2 layers to give it a, you know, deeper space for that little hump on the trunk there. Nailed everything. You know, just take your time, make sure everything looks good. I'm putting some of the liquid nails on the inside just to seal it better, and then I might go back on the outside and do also just all the edges. Different ways that you can do a box. I'm gonna do it completely sealed. Most of the time that I've seen, that works really well. But you can make like an air vent on the middle. If you do that, I would recommend or if you're gonna do on the side, wherever, just put a piece of wood all the way back so the air kind of has to travel out. But from building other boxes, I like the sealed kind of style. I guess you can check on your speaker, see what works best. Anyways, so what I'm gonna do now is cut the piece of wood here. So this is gonna be about 4 inches. It's gonna go on the inside as well, all the way here to put here, and then there's gonna be a piece going up. Before I do the piece going up though, I'm gonna throw it in the car and just see how it fits. Because I cut this shorter, I just don't know if I'm gonna put a piece right on top here to give it the height, or if this is tall enough, just, you know, the piece that goes here, I can just match it with the front, you know, just to make sure. But I'm gonna cut this little piece, glue it on there, or nail it on there. Where it meets from that piece to this piece, I'm not gonna be able to nail it there, so I'll make sure to put a good amount of liquid nails there, and that way it's kind of held together. Other than that, I mean, I guess I could have cut this longer and kind of cut the wood almost all the way through and bent it. But, you know, now that I'm looking at it, I could think of that. Or I could have just made this height all the way down and just kept it all the way down. But it should be okay. Just, you know, putting the liquid nails in there. If anything, I can always put a piece of wood underneath and nail it so it nails to each other. Maybe just like a little strip under there. So there's different things that you can do if you really need to. So let me get that done, and then we'll test fit it in the car, see what it looks like. I'm going to bring the box and put it in there. It's not too heavy yet, which is a good thing. I mean, I hope it doesn't get too heavy, but it's not too bad. There we go, so perfect. I think, so you see there, I think the height, I'm gonna just leave it at that. That way there's a little bit of, you know, when I'm pushing it in, it has to go over the hump on the back. So it looks pretty good. So I'm good with the way it came out. So what I'm gonna do is get my level here and just see. It's kind of hard to tell with the, it's not long enough. I'm gonna cut a piece of cardboard anyways, but I'm gonna pretty much figure out how that front piece is gonna look. From the looks of it though, the trunk does go, I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but it does go a little bit higher here in the center. But that's no big deal. I mean, I might cut a little bit or might just cut it straight. The thing with this is I'm gonna probably wrap it in carpet so it looks nice. Although the back side, I really don't have to do any of that because you're not gonna see. So main part with this is the front is what you're gonna see. And so I might just, you know, do the wood how I want to do it, just a little bit longer possibly. And then what I can do is I'm gonna do on the next video, I'm gonna be doing some kind of trim pieces for those quarter panels and put in some material. But what I can do is use this 1/8" thin I don't know, particle board, whatever that's called, and I can just cut another piece that goes on top of the box, and that one put like the nice carpet or whatever I'm gonna do on it. And that way I can always just attach it with like black screws or whatever, you know, so you can just kind of see a couple little screws on it. But I can also make that one all the way long because I can maneuver that one easier. And then just bolt it down, possibly on top, you know, after the speakers, or even before the speaker, but maybe after, just cut the hole really nice. And that way it covers even farther like I want it to. So I will cut this piece, like I said, probably, you know, maybe all the way as long as it clears. So I'll probably go like maybe here, just go all the way down to here, just so it has a little bit longer for the other piece. And then keep it straight on top, and then the piece that I put on the front with the nice looking material, that one I can arch it to follow the actual trunk. So I'll probably do that, but from now everything looks good. You know, you see over there it's kind of hitting a little bit the little bow, but no big deal. I mean, I don't know if I'll probably like bolt it down here on the corners, or you know, I can pull it forward a little bit and then it's not gonna hit. So either way, it's good there now. I'll go ahead and do the piece that goes here to the top, and then I'll do the front, and we'll be all good to go. Alrighty, so got the box all in the trunk here. You can kind of see the circles that I put on there. That would be a 12-inch sub, which it fits, but I would kind of have to see the back side. The one I have, it's kind of conical on the inside, so it would go right in, but I only have one, so I don't know if I can find one that's the same, but I think I could run 2 of those. If not, I mean, a 10-inch is okay, so I'm not, you know, it doesn't have to be that size. This is the trunk floor, so I cut out the piece for the trunk here. That's as long as really I can make it, you know, to be able to put it in there as one piece. So nice thing about this is, as it is there, I'm probably gonna just put another piece on top that has like the carpet. That way, if that gets damaged, I can just take that out easily and replace it. I still have to take both of these out, so the box and this bottom piece, and put the sound deadening on the trunk underneath. And then I'll find a way to mount the box to the car so it just, you know, it's not loose. But from here, the nice thing is, and what my plan is to, like here on this side, for example, on the driver's side, I'll put little tabs on this wood because it's pretty strong, and then I'll put that thin fabric, or, you know, wood material I showed you, just kind of like a cover to go kind of here, so you don't see all that back there. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with the speaker box. So I'm gonna cut out I'll use cardboard and do kind of like a template, so it goes all the way, you know, up here, and it could bend because that material bends pretty easy. So, you know, I can maybe just kind of have it bend here a little bit, and then I can connect this piece to that piece, but I'll put some nice material on that. On this side, I'm probably gonna, I'll see if I put another piece of this thicker wood up. I'll make like a little bracket, just so if I do the amp for the subs, I can do it here. If I end up going with the 10-inch subs, which are smaller, I'll put them a little bit more to the end, and then the amp might be able to fit here in the middle. So I'll have to see what I end up with that. And then here on the back, I have same thing. I'll cut the same material, you know, put the like nice fabric, and I might just put it kind of from here, angle out, to cover all this back side, you know, the filler neck and all that. So pretty much the plan is, when you open the trunk, you'll see, you know, the area that has for your stuff to go in there, but it's not a bunch of, you know, weird edges, and you see all the holes in there, kind of like a newer vehicle. And lastly, I have the nitrous line, so I have to mount my nitrous bottle somewhere in here probably, and this is a good base to mount it to this, because I'll probably end up bolting this to the floor at least in 2 spots, and then I can just mount the nitrous bottle to here. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like it, leave a thumbs up. Any questions, comments, leave them below. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you on the next one.